Hello everyone, and today we're taking a look at Rogue Legacy, released for the PC on Steam on June 27th. This is not the demo, this is the full version of the game, because I have been playing it quite a bit. So Rogue Legacy is what's described as a roguelite, not a roguelike, a roguelite. It's side-scrolling, hack and slash, called a roguelite because it has certain roguish elements, such as random levels. And, well, I guess you could say permadeath, though death in this game requires you to pick a new character with the money and skills that you've already acquired with previous characters. Why don't we just get an idea of what it is we're supposed to be doing here? This is not the beginning of the game, mind you. I've been playing for kind of a while at this point. Every time we enter this castle, Castle Hampson, the layout changes, though this first room is always the same. The last boss, apparently behind this door. There are 4 bosses we have to kill before we can get behind it. You can see one of those is lit up, upper left icon, because I already killed that boss. There's the map. It shows a basic idea of which directions these levels are in. That first boss is the boss of the castle. We have to reach the tower, the forest, and the dungeon to reach those other bosses. So, since I killed that first boss, it'll remain dead. It doesn't come back, just because I died. Game very much about dying frequently, and just trying to get whatever you can, in terms of money or items or skills from a certain run to carry over into the next one. To try to level up your character in some way, maybe with equipment, maybe with stats. But the game is all about dying and then trying again with either your son or the daughter of your previous character. Hence the name Rogue Legacy. I'd like to try to clear out each room that I go into. Just kill all enemies and try to get all treasures. Try to get as much out of each room as I can as I go into them. Like I said, random rooms every time you go into the castle. So I get this. I can try to pray and I get what? Alright, I got something. What could that do? Alright. We have sub-weapons as well. In this case I have sickles, which uses MP. I have a flashlight on my head. Because this character, I believe, is a miner. Chose this character when I finished playing last time. What the miner does, there are different classes. What the miner does is it increases the amount of gold you'll get from gold. Oh, I found another section. I found the forest. Forest is someplace I want to go because that's where the next boss is going to be. We could try to fight the bosses in any order. But it's supposed to be castle is easiest, then forest, then tower, then dungeon. I have not won this game yet. This is as far as I have gotten. Very fast gameplay, very fast controls. And that's really the thing that makes this game appealing, is the combat, the gameplay. If you like old-style side-scrolling hack and slash, and this game really does a good job of it. And of course, the game gives you a lot of motivation to keep playing. There's someone flying around in the background, it looked like. The game gives you a lot of motivation to keep playing in that it never feels like you wasted your time. As long as you're able to get some amount of money or some kind of power-ups in a run, then at least you got something done in that run. So there's never really a feeling of frustration, of that you wasted your time. Unless you just do really badly in one run, and you don't get enough money to really get anything. Fortunately, though, that hasn't happened many times. With each run, I usually get enough money to at least get something. There's a bit of a story to Rogue Legacy. You may notice we just hopped in without really explaining what was going on. We do find these journals as we play through the game. At the beginning of the game, we play a knight, and the knight attacks the castle and seems like he assassinates the king. It doesn't really explain what's going on there, but after that, we start the game proper, where it seems like our mission, I suppose, is to get into that throne room and... Oh, hold on. Oh, will I get there in time? No, I didn't. This is a fairy chest room. Once again, random. Fairy chests have runes in them. We want to get those runes. They'll help power us up. But each fairy chest room has a challenge. This time I had to get to the fairy chest in 5 seconds. And I failed. I was not able to get there in time. I don't get to try that again, by the way. That stays failed, so... Not to worry. We'll die eventually. We'll enter a new castle. And we'll probably get another chance to get whatever that rune was at some point. Ah. Here's a boss room. Like I said, I have not killed the second boss yet, the boss of the forest. I'm doing alright in terms of health, so we might as well give it a try. I did fight this boss with some previous characters. Yep, there's Alexander. So I have a good idea of what it is he does. I just was not able to... Whoops! Oh, I'm surprised I didn't get hit there. Should probably remember about my sub-weapons. And now I'm getting hit. I'm not claiming to be good at this game. I have seen people do speedruns of the game already. Which is a bit discouraging, as I have not been able to beat the game yet. Yep. Was not able to... Oh, hold on! Because of a power-up I bought previously, I was able to defy death. Just barely. I think that one was completely random, whether or not I would have been able to defy death like that. No. And I won't be able to do it a second time. There we have the enemies I killed. There's a few. Back to the title screen. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can see basically how Rogue Legacy really works. We can get to the meat of the game. I died. Now I choose my heir. We can go back in the genealogy of this line. Going all the way back... This is how many characters I've used and have died as, by the way. There's a few. Yeah, quite a few. Okay, all the way back to the beginning with Johann, the legendary knight. We always start with Johann. And then, as we go on, these are the characters that I picked. Some of them looking a bit different than others. Each heir that we have can choose a different class. Well, there are 3 characters we can choose from. Each of them will have a class and certain traits that may be useful or may hinder us. We'll just see what those are about once we get back up to the front, to the present day. I mean, we're already in the year 2439. It's taken a while to defeat this castle, I have to say. We haven't developed or invented guns or lasers yet. Don't know what they're playing at, what they're doing. These are the choices we have this time around. We can choose Sir Taco, the Lich King. Liches are pretty good. They can increase their hit points by killing enemies. However, he has tunnel vision, no peripheral vision. Baldness, though, I mean, that really won't affect anything. Barbarian King, Sir Culp III, he's weak muscles, weak limbs. He can't knock enemies back, and that can be a problem. Sir Kenny is a Spelunker. He's, that's the upgraded Manor that I mentioned before. He can get a lot of gold, he has ADHD, so he moves fast. Dextrocardia switches the MP and HP pools, which I don't really like, because we have a lot less MP than HP, so it would die very fast. Let's try the Lich. See what tunnel vision looks like. Alright, so now this is our manor. The manor of our family, which began very small and has increased in size over the centuries. I have 1444 gold. This is one place I can spend it. That's Death Defy. That's how I was able to come back from the dead. I could upgrade that if I had the money. There's 10 upgrades to that to increase the chance that I can defy death. There's a variety of things that we can choose. Gold gain up. I don't have quite enough for that. I don't have any unlocks for that yet. Spell Thief. Oh, we can unlock a new class. We might as well try that. We unlock the class. Okay, drains mana from the enemies we hit. I have not been able to use this yet because I had not unlocked it. And we unlocked a new section of the manor. We can upgrade the Spell Thief in that section. So you see, as we increase our upgrades, the manor becomes bigger, larger, and we can choose from a variety of power-ups. Like, for example, Health Up, in which there are 75. We are nowhere near getting that. I have 134 gold left. I'm not going to be able to buy anything with that. Because we have the blacksmith right here. We can buy equipments. For example, let's look at something that I haven't bought yet. Alright, let's Guardian Limbs. See? Nowhere near buying that. There's no way I can afford that. The Enchantress, if we get runes from the fairy chests, it will help us get upgrades. We do still have to buy the upgrades, but getting the runes allows us to buy the upgrades. Again, I cannot afford any of this. The Engineer will allow us to lock down the previous form of the castle. So if we liked that formation, if we, for example, wanted to keep the same castle and try, so we know where that boss is and go straight back to the boss and try to kill it, we could use him to lock it down if we wanted. That could be useful, but I really don't want to do that. Here's Karen. The thing about Karen is that we have to pay him, well, usually all of our money, but I bought an upgrade, so we only have to pay him 94% to enter the castle. And that's the thing, we do want to spend as much money as we can before we pay to enter... Balding, yes. Before we pay to enter this castle. So you see how that works. We try to get as much money as possible, we die, we try to use it in the best ways we can at the beginning of the next generation, because once we start playing, we'll have lost all of our money, or almost all of it, if we really wanted to try to spend money on upgrades, so we wouldn't have to spend as much money on Karen. That's one option. That's one thing we could try to do. But those upgrades get really expensive. I really don't know if it's worth it. Apparently there are speedruns for this now, of people beating the game in like a half an hour. It's honestly kind of depressing, because I've been at this for a while. Oh right, I'm a Lich, that's right. I should probably explain how this works. So, our hit points start off lower than other classes. As I kill enemies, the max hit points for the Lich will increase. You can see a little message that comes up when I do that. I'm also wearing vampire armor, blood armor, so as I kill enemies, I will also regain hit points. I find the blood armor to be the most useful of the armors so far. Just because of that. I mean, we take a lot of damage as we play through this, so anything that will keep us alive for longer is better. Oh, you might have noticed I can do this. Jump, 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 float. That's through upgrades as well. I could increase those upgrades. Oh, increase those upgrades to float longer. So that's something else we could do. What's this here? This is a game that the developers made previously. Rogue Legacy is their first game on Steam. And it actually seems to be very popular. A lot of people seem to like Rogue Legacy. And the developers put in little paintings with descriptions of the developments of their previous games. I've not heard of Villainous. But they say, yeah, it's one of their most successful titles. I have not heard of it. But that's Villainous up there. We'll see a few of those if those are random too, but we'll try to see if we can... Oh! We found the third area, the Maya. Might as well try our luck here and see what we can do. You can see that the enemies are a lot tougher. And this guy bounces us back every time we hit his shield. Let's see. That's my special... That's my sub-weapon for this character. It's iron balls. Just get... Oh, they fly out everywhere, and that can be dangerous because they're hitting these paintings and activating them. So as you can see, enemies are bigger and tougher here. Underthrust actually requires some pretty precision button pushing here. It's not as forgiving as you might think an underthrust might be. Getting a little bit overwhelmed. I have not actually played much of the tower yet. Mostly I've been exploring the castle, the forest, a little bit of the dungeon, which is the hardest area. But this is a place that I have not really done anything with. So this might not go well. It did not go well. Shirtako slain by a Worgen. He did not kill as many as our previous warrior. Once again, back to the title screen. So this is how Rogue Legacy goes. Now, was that a successful run or failure? We'll find out in a second. Who do we want? Now, this one's colorblind. Not really accurate colorblindness, it's just everything's black and white, grayscale, and that doesn't look so great. Nearsighted, everything far away is blurry. We are also gay, Sir Teddy. That does not actually affect gameplay, as you might expect. Let's see. Might as well take a look at what nearsighted looks like. Some of the traits, like I said, are beneficial. Some of them are not, and some of them actually make the game unplayable. Such as vertigo, if we happen to encounter that. Alright, I only have 639 gold, and that's bad because I might not actually be able to buy anything. Look, I could have upgraded mana if I only had one more gold. Yeah. I don't think I can get anything. You see, this is the problem that you can run into, where everything just gets so expensive that eventually gets to the point where it doesn't seem like you actually were able to accomplish anything. And this is an example of that. I cannot buy anything. You can see what nearsighted looks like now. On the edge of the screen, it's all blurry. Oh. My sword is invisible? Apparently. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Should probably see if I can actually afford anything with my meager gold. No. I'm actually not sure what's going on with that glow around my character and the invisible sword. Slaying enemies granting both HP and MP. I would like that a lot if I was able to afford it. Yeah, so that was an example of a wasted run. Even though it seemed like I did alright, I did not get enough money to do anything. So it's as if that previous character never existed, because I had to spend all my money. It's gone now. I'm starting over again. Oh, yeah, we can read the previous journal entries, but let's not. I don't know if the story that we're reading in those journal entries actually tie into anything. Basically, the story that we're reading there is someone who previously went into the castle to attempt to find a cure for the king who was attacked. Which, we did that at the beginning. We attacked the king, which is why I don't really know how that's gonna tie into the end. Hold on a second. Yeah, each character we choose can have a trading card. Gives us a description of what we're all about. Okay, we're a spell thief. Maybe that's why we're glowing. Right, and as we kill enemies, we get mana. I'm still not seeing why my sword's invisible. I don't know if that's something that just happens with all spell thieves, because I haven't used the class yet. This is the first time. This teleporter is random. Let's take it. Okay, takes us to the forest. Why not? Hey, there's a boss here we haven't beaten, so this is as good as any place to go. So like I said, the gameplay feels very good, just how fast it is and how far you can jump and how fast you can attack. Oh, this is back into the castle. So I mean, just everything about the game, just the way it controls, the way it moves, just feels very good, especially when you get these upgrades and you can just jump and fly around all over the place. Very, very responsive. It's not... I've never felt that, you know, anytime I've died, I've never felt it was the game's fault. It was always the case that, you know, that was my fault, and I realized what I did wrong, and that I just wasn't good enough to overcome a certain enemy. I've never felt screwed by the game. Oh, hold on, I have to reach the chest in time. Can I do it this time? Wow, that was really far away. I think I'm probably was expected to have a dash rune equipped to be able to reach that in time, which I do not. I could have a dash rune equipped, but instead of having that equipped, I have one of the double jump runes, which allows me to jump all over the place. And I like that. I like being able to jump all over the place. That's come in very handy. I also really like the look of the game. It has a really great sprite look. Very colorful. Just everything moves and animates really well. I mean, yes, the sprite look is very common in indie games, but this game does it a lot better than I usually see it done. I was hoping we'd find this one. As I mentioned, the paintings are of previous games the developers have made. So if you recognize that, yeah, they made that. Oh, really? That was the first game? I couldn't tell. I thought they must have had many years of experience before they attempted to make a tour de force. Like, don't shit your pants. If you haven't played the game, I do recommend it. Like it says, it's a very short text adventure. It actually quite surprised me when I saw this painting. And I realized that the developers of Rogue Legacy made that. I'm not sure how long I've been playing the game up at this point. I mean, you saw how many generations I've gone through. I think the reason I've gone through so many generations is that my... hold on. Another fairy chest challenge. This time I have to take no damage. Let's... No, I failed. No point in even trying... Okay, there was a point in trying to dodge those so I wouldn't die. That didn't work. Like I said, I think a reason I've used so many generations is because I've tried to go, for the most part, straight to the bosses to try to kill them. That hasn't worked. So now I'm taking a different tactic, and that's just going through all the rooms and trying to get as much money as possible. Alright, another Lich King. This time he has Hypergonadism and EDS. Did I get... Okay, I got enough money for something. Let's see. Alright, I wanted to try to increase my equip to wear heavier armor. The reason is because I bought some blood armor. Like, okay, there's a blood sword. I still can't equip that. Blood helm? Still cannot. The limbs? No. No. I have all this blood gear, which would be helpful because all of this would allow me to absorb HP from enemies killed. So I really want to equip that, but apparently I just don't have the stats for it. Oh well. I mean, as you go through the game, you'll see basic room types repeated. But I think there's a fair variety. I don't think it gets too tiresome. Gotta watch out for spike traps. Oh. Okay, very big skeletons. Seen this once before. We can beat them. Let me send out these metal balls to try to help me out here. If I can just beat it. Okay, I got something. Oh, just money. Last time I did that, I got the blueprint for new armor, I think it was. This time I just got money, but it was a lot of money. I have over 1,000, which means that even if I die right here, which seems my... Let's not try that. Let's not risk it. Even if I died there, I'd have enough money to buy an upgrade. So that's good anyway. Of course, we're not going to try to die here. We'll try to survive as long as we can. And with the Lich and the vampire armor, the blood armor, it's actually quite possible, because we can just keep increasing our hit points. Eventually... Oh, actually, I think I used my effect, the Lich's effect, in the upper left-hand corner. I switched HP and MP. I can tell because the MP is so large. This is one reason why the Lich's ability to increase max HP is very useful, because we can use it to switch between HP and MP. We'll have MP as HP, which is lower, and then we can use the Lich's ability to increase that maximum amount. If anything, I just made sense. These are very big, and I died. Okay, after all that, I died after all. But I did get some money. I'm not great at Rogue Legacy, as you can see, but it's very fun. And that's the thing, if you look at the style of gameplay, you really have to find this fun, I think, to want to play this game. If you don't like this kind of combat, I don't think this game has much for you. Might as well see what stereo blind looks like. You can't see in 3D. Alright, what can we do? I don't have enough to upgrade Spell Thief. Gold gain up, I don't have enough for that. Don't have enough for that. I might as well just upgrade, equip up again. See if I can eventually, just carry this stuff. Oh, I can! I got the blood sword. That's what I wanted to do. I don't think I can... See, I still can't carry any of this, though. Okay, but anyway, I have a big red sword. So yeah, it's very fun. I mean, in terms of how the gameplay feels, I kind of... Oh yeah, this is what stereo blind means. I kind of look like a 2D plane turning around. It's not really a big thing. It's actually kind of annoys me because everything will do that. The enemies will too. When I think about how the game plays, I kind of think about something that comes to mind is just Ghouls and Ghosts, but if it was like 300% faster. That's kind of what I think about. Like I said, if you like this type of gameplay, this is going to be very fun, and the legacy aspect, the genealogical aspect of the game does give it a lot of replay value as you attempt to keep going through the castle over and over and over again. Oh, another journal entry. Still don't know what this story is supposed to represent or what we might discover by the end. Okay, another fairy chest room, but this objective is something I think I can do. Defeat all enemies. That's simple enough. Yeah, that's the ability the Barbarian King has. You can just push everyone back using an attack that is maybe a little plagiarous. Maybe. I achieved the objective, and I got a rune for Vampire Rune Bracers. Since I do want all this blood armor, that's a good thing. I can't use it now. We could only use it if I die, well, when I die, and we get a new character. So you see all the money, all of the items that we get in these runs cannot be used by the existing character. It's all for the next run. Everything we do. Unless you're just good enough to just skill your way through the entire game and kill all the bosses at once. I guess you could do it that way if you were good enough, which I'm not. I'd like to be. Looks like there's nowhere else to go down there, so we'll just pull our way all the way back up here. Whoops, that was worth it to get that rune. We can look at a map. We can pull that up right here. We don't really have anywhere we're going right now. I'm just trying to collect money. Maybe I should try to head downwards to the fourth area, the dungeon. You can see what that's like. I won't survive there long. I haven't yet. But we'll at least take a look at what that looks like. Yes, we already saw that. There's a variety of different kinds of rooms, different kinds of bonus rooms we can find. Minigames, challenges. We won't see nearly all of them in this video. So like I said, there's a pretty good variety. At least I have not gotten bored of the environments yet. Different rooms. It also does a good job of avoiding feeling like it's random, I think. Like, if you make a game that has random levels, a danger is that it'll feel like it wasn't actually manufactured. It feels like it's just randomly generated. And I think this game does a pretty good job of avoiding that for the most part. This should lead down to the dungeon. Yep, Land of Darkness, here we are. I will not survive long here. So we're just gonna do what we can before we die. Oh. Yeah. Enemies get much, much harder in the Land of Darkness. Let's see if we get any of the weirder traits. Not really, no. I'm looking for Vertigo, which turns everything upside down, but I don't think we're going to get it in this video. This is actually a very good trait. Peripheral arterial disease, no foot pulse. That allows us to walk over spike traps without activating them. Let's head over here. I got that vampire rune. Let's take a look at that. Now where... there it is, I think. Yeah. So that's what I unlocked, but I don't have enough gold to buy it, unfortunately. probably don't have enough gold to buy any of this. No, I don't. Alright, I guess all I can do is just walk back over here. And let's... yeah. I've got an achievement. Not sure what that was for. Level 50, it says. Okay. Let's see if by doing that equip up, I can... no, still cannot equip that. Nope. No. Eventually, we'll be entirely red, and then we'll gain all kinds of hit points for killing enemies. I think we'll do one more run, see how we can do. Maybe I'll just try to be very careful this time. Let's say that. Let's try to be very careful, try to take as little damage as possible, and try to make it to the forest boss and see if we can take him down. That sounds like a pretty good plan to end the video with. So to get to the forest, we're just going to head all the way over to the right until we... whoops, until we get there. Oh. This is one of the mini-games I was hoping to find. We meet this clown sometimes in the castle. Alright. Let's try his minigame. We have 10 daggers to destroy 8 targets. Let's see if we can do it. I don't think this is going well. Don't know what prize I would get for this. I assume a rune or something. Probably. Yeah. Yeah, I used too many at this point, but we'll just keep trying. I get a little bit of gold for each one I destroy, so that's something. Not a big something, but a little something. Used them all. I thought I did okay. Yeah, can only do it once. Like with the fairy chest rooms, I don't get multiple tries at that. I do really like the running animation. Just the way we run forward holding that sword up very proudly. We're very proud of that sword. This path seems to be leading us up. I didn't really want to go up, I wanted to go to the forest. You might notice some of my strikes, entering the Maya. No, I don't want to go there. Let's see. I guess I have to go back down to the left and then to the right. You might notice that some of my strikes results in criticals. That is another thing that I've been buying upgrades to increase. Well, I think doing this, trying to do this carefully has worked out so far. Oh, and we might get another fairy chest. All enemies dead. So, if nothing else, we at least get another rune. Which rune is it? Another vampire rune? Great, that's exactly what I want. It'll help me out in completing my vampire gear. Okay, here we are back in the forest. Let's see if we can find Alexander and show him what for. Won't do to meet Alexander all hurt. Kind of want to meet him with a lot of health. I guess let's just keep going to the right and see what we find. Oh, this is what we find. Oh, another fairy chest. Maybe we can get 2 in one run. Oh yeah, the Grand Sword. That's my my sub-weapon for this character. Just stays in place. Anything that runs into it gets hurt. It's not bad for bosses, it seems. Oh right, I don't activate spike traps with this character. Forgot about that. That's a very useful trait, as I mentioned. Okay, achieve the objective, and we get a vault rune for chestplate. So this run is... Oh, here's the boss. Okay, let's see if we can do better this time. And, oh, we got the blueprints for the silver helm. That means a new piece of armor that the blacksmith can sell to us. This run has actually been very good in terms of finding new stuff. And I got some good amount of money, so even if I die here, this will not have been wasted. Let's see if we can take it to Alexander this time. Yep, he's just going to run right into that. I mean, you can see what his pattern is. It's not difficult. It's the only problem, whoops, is getting overwhelmed by all these skulls he spawns. I'm out of MP, so no more Grand Sword. But since I do have this vampire stuff, the skulls can actually be handy to me, as I can use them to get my health back as long as they don't overwhelm me. And I am being overwhelmed right now, so... Things are not looking good. I think if my attack power was enough to kill these skulls in one hit each, oh, that was it. That would have gone a lot better in that case. But no, it was not to be, and we were slain by Alexander. But that run was actually quite good, as I got a number of runes, some blueprints, and a good deal of money. So you see how Rogue Legacy goes. It's very fun, very addicting. I really recommend this game. It's a game that, well, I mean, in my case, it's lasted me a while now, though potentially, if you're good at it, which I am not, then you might be able to beat it very quickly. I don't know if anyone's beaten the game with the original character yet. I assume that's probably possible if you're skillful enough. But in my case, I've taken generation after generation after generation and centuries to, well, not even beat the second boss yet. But I really like it, and I'll continue on playing it until I get to the end. And I suggest you do that too. It's Rogue Legacy, available on Steam, and it's very fun.